You're my son. I love him, baby. Black diamonds and pearls.
Could it be? If you could be mine, we both shine.
If I rule the world.
Still living for today. In this last days of time.
Walk right up to
When did you get sick?
hand in hand.
Literally, like yesterday.
Yesterday? So you just... Is it one
So
of
I
those
will over enunciate and try to do my best.
Is it one of those things where you just woke up and you just feel like... Blah.
Yes. Totally. That's
that happened to me like 2 days ago. Like it was weird. It's like my left side of my head just felt swollen. I was like, uh-oh. And it felt bad the entire day.
I know it didn't help either because my friend was like, "Oh, let's go have a drink." And at first I was fine because I was like, "No, I'm not drinking anymore. Like I'm chilling out." Like I didn't drink at the Double Toasted event. Like I was really chill.
Whoa, stop. Don't lie to the people on the internet when you say you didn't drink at the Double Toasted event.
Oh God, I didn't know we were on the internet yet. Yes. Okay, so I had like 2 drinks, but still, I was very much.
Gina,
I was high.
Were those 2 drinks like a gallon of Everclear? Because from what I deduced, me and Deja had to carry you all the way down to where that other Russian bar was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you see, when you say like, "Oh, I only had 2 drinks," but you can't remember that night. That's not 2 drinks. Unless you had Cosby Coladas, that's not 2 drinks.
I was very high. Ganja came by and he was like, "Hey Gina, want to smoke?" And I was just like, "Well, I'm not drinking because I'm trying to, lose weight and be healthy, give my liver a break." And so I started smoking, and
that's great because give your liver a break, have your lungs, take the brunt. That's cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, continue.
Thank you. It does. And so I honestly, but then I think me, Deja, and my friend Jonathan, I think we had went across to the bar and I did shots. So
I think you did like 2 shots, or you don't remember how many shots you did?
I don't remember.
No, that's what I kind of figured. So when you say 2 is a symbolic number?
2 is symbolic. It's symbolic of the god of bullshit.
Uh-huh.
And, I pray to that God often. It's a good guy.
And you had an awesome time that weekend, because I remember at the actual party the next day, you were faded as well.
You know what? We were so faded that
all of us were faded. It was Ganja and what was it? Was it Connor the Green Devil? Wow. Yeah. That dude, he's like a leopard. He was like a leprechaun Riddler. He pulled pipes out of nowhere. I was like, "Hey Connor, how's it going? Smoke this." I was like, "Wait, you don't even know my name. Smoke it." And I was like, "All right." And it happened. A lot of stuff happened. So, yeah.
That sounds like the whole night. And it's funny because Ganja was really trying to get me to do a full dab. I was like, "You're not catching me in these streets. You're not. Like, I ain't got time." And I was like, "Look at the shirt that I'm wearing." Mind you, the shirt, I didn't want to wear that shirt that I was wearing because I had forgotten, I didn't bring enough clothes. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel comfortable. And I was just like, "No, you ain't finna catch me out here looking all like a snack, high as shit, a whole bunch of Negroes."
Not just that, because the party was held in an outstanding, stylish place that it was. It wasn't like it was a back alley behind like a bunch of 18-wheelers or anything,
Exactly.
That place was looking kind of shady. It was an awesome night though. But
Goodwin kept giving me the eye. I didn't know what he wanted from me.
He did?
Yeah, Goodwin wants it. He wants it.
Well, I mean, you got to get through Gertz first. You know that, right?
That's true. I think Danielle was trying because Danielle kept telling me things on the low. Yeah, Danielle was like, "Corey looks like he fucked the shit out of somebody." And I was just like, "Why are you telling me this information? Like, what does that? What does that do for me?"
She was telling you. She was telling you that he would fuck someone in general, or was she looking at you saying he would fuck the shit out of you?
No, she was just saying in general. Like, I guess he was looking good that night. I don't know. I mean, I was pretty lit, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, Danielle, I kind of want you instead, but I guess
And
I'll go with.
Danielle was going solo that night, but she brought her friend too, her lawyer friend. I believe she's a lawyer. She was nice.
Yeah, she was cute too.
Yeah, she was. I mean, yeah, her friend was nice. And with
Listen,
that,
I'm gonna pop at both of them. You know what I'm
well,
saying? If I can get out there in August, it's a wrap. So.
and with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce everyone to the What If podcast. I am your lovely, lovely host, Ugo, and tonight, my co-host, who I'm riding with tonight, is the lovely, lovely Jena. Jena, say hello to the internet people.
Hi, internet trolls. How are you?
I wish I had more trolls. I don't have any trolls. I'm trying to get, trying to get my status up there, but, slow and steady wins the race. Please, Jena, tell everyone about yourself, and you love yourself, and what you do, and how you roll.
I hate that. The introvert in me is like, yeah, I don't want to, but I
Okay,
mean,
I'm gonna stop you right there, because from everything I know, you are not introverted, but please continue. Don't lie to the people. They will find out. It's internet. Don't lie
they
to
will
them.
find out.
Exactly. Don't lie to them.
Twitter already found out.
Did they?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting low key famous on Twitter.
Okay.
I am just a 30-year-old, newly turned 30-year-old.
Welcome to your fourth decade. How are you?
I'm pretty apathetic and jaded, but I'm still here. I do a bunch of nonprofit. I do podcasting, and my roots are primarily in film and theater. So I just moved back from New York, back in the Bay Area, bitches, back in the town. Everybody's gentrified and white, and
I know it's like San Francisco just seeped into the other side of the bay, didn't they?
oh God, it's disgusting.
They can't afford where they are. Okay, so here's my question. Right? All right. Would you want Oakland as it is gentrified now, with San Francisco seeping in, or would you want Oakland how the rest of the nation saw it for about 20 years, where it is like one match away from being Watts 1992 all over again in Oakland?
Is that how the nation viewed us?
Oakland is, by the nation, is viewed as other than hanging with Mr. Cooper back in the early to mid 90s. Oakland's viewed as kind of, not as bad as Detroit, but a few steps above it, kind of thing.
Wow, I'm proud. I would love for us to be what the nation viewed us as, only because these honkies, when they came in and took over everything and just completely erased the culture that made Oakland. And I love educating folks on just how inaccurate that is.
True.
Oakland is the Bay Area, but Oakland in general is such a diverse,
it is
thriving, socially conscious, just a dope ass city that everybody bites us and we get no credit. And we have the best tacos. Like, we got the real fucking Guatemalans and Mexicans out here. Y'all not fucking with us. So, I mean,
you really want to say that to someone from Texas? So out there?
Listen, Beyonce, okay? Y'all got like, Tex-Mex. Y'all got Tex-Mex. That's not Mexican food.
In the words of Bane, you adopted the Mexican food. We were born into it.
You do know that California was originally Mexico, correct?
You do know that Texas was also Mexico and technically is still Mexico right now?
You do understand that literally where I live, no one speaks English.
You do understand that I could throw a stone down the street and I can say the same thing now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's funny we're bringing this up because I'm a little jealous of my Latino friends because I left Oakland and they snatched everything that was Black away from us. And the Latinos are now the new middle class. And the Black people, as usual, we're just fucked. Like, we have nothing.
Man, and it's odd. It's an odd dynamic because what you're saying is not wrong. What you're saying is right. It's funny because you're saying that as a Black African American. And me, I'm a first generation African in that my parents are Nigerian. and although I wasn't born here, but I am technically a first generation American here in the States. So it's like a weird dynamic in that I understand I am black. I know the police see me as black, so I get it. But at the same time, you can totally see the difference. And being from New York and Oakland, you know how Nigerians roll and how different they are from other black people, kind of thing.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's an odd dynamic in that Nigerians be sitting and look like, huh, what, like we see that they're different, but at the same time, especially you'd be surprised, and I guess you already know how racist Nigerians can be. It's odd. It's weird. Like some of the things my mom would say, I'd be like, Mom, don't say that to my friends or in public ever.
Which I don't understand it, and sadly enough, with the gentrification of Oakland, a lot of Hispanic folks who self-identify as white, that type of mindset has been, I guess, a lot more acceptable. So it's like I have the Latino folks who think they're white, who traditionally just don't like black people anyway. Okay. Then we have the Asians, who these are more like the older generations. The younger East Asian Pacific folks, like the Filipinos, they're not really like riding that wave. They're a lot more inclusive. But we still have the older Asians who are just like, oh, that's a nigger. And then we have Oakland has a really large Eritrean, Nigerian, and Liberian population. A lot of folks don't know that.
You know what? I'm not surprised by that, because I will say what my uncle back in Nigeria said, which is very apt. He said Nigerians are like cockroaches. You can find them anywhere.
Damn, I wouldn't go that far.
No, here's the thing. It's like a horrible but apt analogy at the same time, because by that he's saying like any reach across the world you will find a Nigerian. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. Like they're Nigerian priests in Alaska and shit. Like they're everywhere, man. They are just, if you could go anywhere in the world, and within like probably a 10-mile radius, you'll be like, oh, I can find a Nigerian somewhere. You can't.
The diaspora is real, y'all.
Dude, weird.
Diaspora.
Weird. Everywhere. It's funny, but yeah. So yeah.
No, Nigerians, they play into colorism a lot. I wouldn't say they're necessarily racist, but I don't get approached. I'm still, I guess I didn't pass the paper brown test, the bag or whatever. Because my homegirl who's lighter than me, they'll pop at her all the time. And I have a lot of Habasha. Did I say that correct?
Habasha?
No, Habasha. My apologies, y'all. Okay. My apologies. I have a bunch of Habasha friends.
Okay.
And like their male friends, I mean, they're trash anyway because they're hella misogynistic.
What's Habasha?
Habasha, I think I want to say, damn.
I thought you don't know what they mean.
I'm pretty sure they're Ethiopian.
Okay, Ethiopian. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, they definitely don't really. They're on that colorism shit where, and I think Habasha actually are still a specific type of people. Okay. They're like, I think they're specifically from like the northern part of Ethiopia, but still like. They really don't. They like their light skins. So it's just an interesting dynamic because it wasn't always this divided. I remember growing up in Oakland, I had a whole bunch of friends and we were all just hella cool and we were able to respect each other's backgrounds. But with money comes bullshit. So it's only a matter of time. Then the fucking white people. Don't get me started on fucking white people. Jeez. These niggas out here wilding, boy. I tell you. If it wasn't, you know what? But shout out to the old school Bay Area white people though that are actually allies. I fucks with y'all.
The actual hippies.
Yeah, they hella cool and they woke as shit, and they hella chill. These new age honkies, I don't fuck with
because they were the first ones to call out the man because they were actually broke hippies. They were like, because the hippies now are like Silicon Valley. Like, we're all inclusive, but I like to stay in my San Jose zip code, and y'all stay over there. But the old hippies in the back of the day, like, let's get this BW bug and drive across America in peace and love, man. And they were like, they don't give a shit, kind of thing, you know?
No, these old ass white people, they about that life. I was at a rally and they was all up in the police face. I was like, go ahead, Aunt Sally, you do that.
They got flashbacks from back in the 60s when they were doing that shit, man.
You go. They hardcore.
They were around. They were around during Nixon.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
they were.
the original Donald Trump.
Oh God. I love
Speaking,
that there was a picture that someone put up on Twitter. It was a printout of a newspaper that I think it was right after he actually had gotten impeached, and it was
mhm.
two white people. I think they were a married couple holding up a sign that says "I love Dick," because back then
Yeah,
Richard Dick,
yeah. No, it's still Dick now. Richard will always be Dick, but yeah, yeah, oh
and
yeah,
I cackled. I was like, "Aha!
yeah.
If only they knew he would make a funny ass meme in 2017 because you're a
It's just,
fucking dumbass."
but like Dick was also a euphemism for penis back in the day. But I don't understand why they thought that his campaign manager for some reason, and apparently it worked because he got elected. But his campaign manager for some reason, like, we've got to put I love Dick or we love Dick everywhere, and then I don't know. Nobody in the staff said, excuse me, I know I'm only an intern, but can we say Richard or just Nixon and not Dick? I don't know. Does anybody else see this? No, it's fine. It's fine. Just go along with it. Like, okay.
That's one of the very few flashbacks I would actually want Rick and Morty to do. Be like, so no one's gonna say
gonna
this
say
is where
that.
we're going with the campaign. This is
Going to campaign? Okay.
yeah,
All right.
okay. Well,
It's fine. Yeah.
I guess
It's,
we'll see what happens. You know,
it's been, the last time I recorded was 2 weeks ago because I do my podcast every 2 weeks. It's been a wild 2 weeks, man. It really it just in the not this last week, but the week before, because this last week is actually. Let me start from the beginning. The week before last week, all the shit came down with like Michael Flynn and who was the other dude? Not Michael. Is the John Comey and him firing him and him telling Russia. It's just in a matter of a week. This man has exasperated everyone in a matter of a week that we thought would take years. It was just crazy.
I feel like it's not real, but it is, but it's not.
It's not. It's just like it's what's funny, but it's sad when you wake up every morning thinking, "Oh, what did this motherfucker do now?" And then
Yeah.
after when the day over, it's like clearly he can't top this. He did what the next day?
Oh yeah, and I keep telling folks too. I was like, Trump, I'm glad he got elected because this will be the end of the Republican era as we know it. Sadly enough, a bunch of state officials know this, so they're on the low trying to pass hello oppressive ass state legislature.
Oh yeah,
that
they already caught North Carolina. Did you hear about that?
I don't need to know. I don't
North
need to hear
Carolina?
about it to know that.
No. The Supreme Court just called out North Carolina saying, yeah, you're voting, not voting laws, but you're gerrymandering and how you redistricting districts. You're doing that on race, and that's unconstitutional. The Supreme Court called North Carolina out, like, nah, y'all can't be doing that.
North Carolina be wilding. I don't know what they be on.
Well, it's tobacco. They got that wacky tobacco over there. I don't know. Tobacco Road.
That's that tobacco from the X-Files. The
Man,
fuck?
for
Like,
real. I don't know. And then that was all the week before. And is it just me, or does when Donald Trump went on his foreign trip, does it feel like, do you ever notice when, like, your parents are at home and you're always on edge, but when they leave, you just relax?
I was trying to.
That's how no. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying everything's great, but I'm saying you're just a bit more relaxed. He's just, even though you know he's coming back and you know he still does stuff, but at the same time, just him being out of the country, everyone's just kind of like, maybe we could take 2 breaths before he comes back and we're underwater again.
I'm trying to figure out why ain't nobody popped him yet. Like, he's the one president y'all should assassinate because we're not going to war for that nigga. It is not happening.
Jena, if anything, you don't want to kill him.
What?
You know what? Let me explain. He clearly, his own party and the opposing party, everyone around him, knows he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just there because the people, the very stupid people, vote for him because apparently they feel kin to him. If he were to be removed, his vice president would take over. And I
kill him too.
Which is Mike Pence. And I feel that that'd be going from Dr. Evil to Lex Luthor. In that Dr. Evil's goofy and just like upfront evil. Lex Luthor is diabolically evil. And I feel that's what Mike Pence would be. So
Listen,
I mean, so
I'm gonna
if
give
you
people
think all the stuff going through right now is bad, would if Mike Pence were to become president, man,
what people need to do. And if you're gonna listen to this, it's probably gonna be too late because he's probably gonna be back by the time you put this up.
I'll put
But
stuff Friday. He won't be back till like next week. So yeah,
good. So while he's out, his convoy explodes. Okay. Not saying it's ISIS, but I will send y'all niggas some money if
no.
you do that. I'm just saying.
Gina,
I don't give a shit.
Gina, come
No,
on,
come
don't-
find me.
Gina,
After that,
you can't be saying that.
what you're gonna need to do is concurrently, when his thing explodes, you're gonna have to kill Mike Pence at the same time. Now,
You know
the
what that
way
leaves?
to
You know
do that,
that means Ryan Paul will be next in line, or Paul
Okay.
Ryan. Okay.
but Paul Ryan, then
Uh-huh.
okay, this is what you do. Then you have a
Alright.
scandal on Paul Ryan with child pornography, right?
Really?
Get
'Cause
him taken out.
You say that, but the sitting president right now has had scandal upon scandal upon scandal, literally to the point where he's grabbed a woman by her private parts and told
But
people and
that's
bragged
the
about
thing.
it.
That's
and
a
still
woman.
People are like,
That's
that's
a
fine.
woman. She's
Yeah.
grown. We don't, you know, America doesn't give a fuck about women. They give a fuck about the kids.
Uh-huh.
So you get him.
Oh
on
wait,
child
wait. You're
pornography.
saying they give a fuck about the kids? Is that why Betsy DeVos is the Secretary of Education?
Yes,
Okay.
because she only cares about the white kids. Listen,
Not even the white kids. She cares about the rich kids.
exactly. So you get a rich, about 7-year-old white girl that everybody loves. Boom.
So you're saying
Put her in some videos with Paul Ryan.
Are you saying JonBenet Ramsey Part 2? Is that what you're saying?
Listen, all I'm saying is all this has to happen like a domino effect. Time is not your friend. So Trump has to die. Then you take out Mike Pence, whether that's assassination or a vial or food that he's eating and it's poison, or you blow up his car, whatever. You take him out. Then Paul Ryan,
Godfather
that
2 on
same
these motherfuckers.
you send it to every major news outlet, pictures and video of him fondling a little girl. He's gone because now he has to go to jail for criminal charges.
Does he?
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
Look at Anthony Weiner. That nigga's done.
But he's running for. But he ran for election like 3 times before he was actually done, and this is after all the dick pics he put out.
True,
Have
but
you
it
seen
was
the documentary
still.
Weiner?
I did not. I did
Man.
not because I did not want to see him in an empathetic light because he was sending dick pics to underage girls. So fuck him. Fuck whatever he's on. I don't care. Boo hoo. Get out of my face. Listen, it just has to be a domino effect because it's more important to tarnish a reputation. That's where the power lies. Once you ruin these people's reputation, one after the other, and you just blackmail all of them, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's already over. Once it gets to the papers, once you send that to every major news outlet, it's a wrap for his ass, whether he did it or not. That's how you take him down.
All right, are you going to get Weta digital imaging on that to Photoshop into some video, or what?
I may not have to. These are old white men we talking about. I may not have to look too damn far. Shit. Listen. But am I wrong? Am I wrong though?
I'm not going to confirm or deny it, but it could happen. It could. I'm not saying it should. It could. There's a realm of possibility that could happen. But at the same time, I've talked about this before. It's last November was choosing between a rock and a hard place. It really was. I mean, it's just, yes, of course, Donald Trump is a very evil, not very good person. But for the longest time, I told my mom this, and she was shocked when I told her. I said, Hillary Clinton's not very likable. She's just not. I mean, she just, like, when I was watching the news, like, back then, and they were saying, Hillary Clinton, her untrustability is like 60%. And I was like, that doesn't surprise me at all. And my mom was like, what? How can that be? And like, Mom, look at her. I mean, Gina, when you look at Hillary Clinton, do you really fully trust her when she does or says something?
I was trying to figure out why everybody was on her team to begin with. I just wasn't sure. I was just really confused.
There's two reasons why everyone was on her team. Two. First, because I wouldn't say she was robbed, but people thought back in 2008 she was going to get the nomination. And then all of a sudden this upstart out of Illinois just charmed the pants off everybody, and then we all know what happened from there. That's first. So in the 2016 election, they were like, oh, well, clearly, it didn't work in 08. 2016, it's going to be your turn. Like, unfortunately, that was the DNC's, like, mantra. It's her turn, which is a horrible mantra to have, but that's where they were thinking, it's her turn. Clearly, she waited 8 years, she quote-unquote paid her dues. It's her time to be president. Second, everyone loved the feel of the history wagon of Barack Obama being the first black president. They also wanted to feel it again with Hillary Clinton being the first female president. So you have I want to be a part of history, plus she's been overdue. Everyone kind of looks a blind eye to everything else she's done. When clearly you see Bernie Sanders over here in the wings speaking the truth, sitting there like, just speaking not even true, common sense stuff. He's saying like, maybe we shouldn't do this. Everyone's like, that makes sense. But all of them are like, no, don't listen to the old man. He's crazy. He's a socialist. Even though he was saying a lot of things that made sense, but it just didn't happen that way. So those are the two reasons why she won the nomination there. And it's sad because you can't really. There's so many. Like, I would love to see like 10 years from now, like a documentary or expose or some type of dramatization of this 2016 election, because I wanted to show like how everybody fucked up, and I mean everybody: Republican Party, Democratic Party, the Clintons, the people of America, like just everybody, just blah, because there's a whole lot of blame to pass around to everyone. You can't just blame one person or one entity. You really just can't,
Fuck that bitch. Period. Move on. Like, fuck out of my face. You're fucking trash. Your husband was trash. You called black people super predators. Yeah. You guys supported the fucking transition into mass incarceration and for profit. Like, goodbye. You're canceled. Next. Everybody could just go with good old idealistic Bernie, huh? Could just stick with old man Bernie. I didn't even want that nigga either. But shit, at least he would have listened.
So
at least he would have gave us a platform.
Who did you want though?
Me.
Gina Perry 2020.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
Talk about go to war. I would have declared war on the police. I'd have created another civil war. It'd be like, what's it for all? Uh-huh. We finna fight this shit out and squash it. Mm-hmm. What's it for all? There was not one candidate I felt was qualified to be president of the state. We should have just left Obama.
President of the state?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Which state would that be?
The state that would be left after the Civil War.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. I see what you're saying. So they have the Civil War first, then have whatever's left over. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
Well, I mean, with stuff like that, I mean, and just progressive thinking like that, that'd be a great transition as what we came here to talk about tonight. So the reason why I brought Gina onto my podcast, my first, actually, you would be, unlike Hillary Clinton, you'd be the first female co-host I've had on my podcast. And of course, one of the main reasons I did want to bring you on, and you were so excited about this topic, was because of the topic we're going to talk about tonight. Throughout history, history's been written by the victor. It's been forged in blood and by whoever conquers whoever who. And of course, it's all been male dominated. And I came on to this, I wanted you on this podcast because I thought to myself, there's no way I could talk about this with two guys because, that would be biased and probably would miss a whole lot of stuff. It wouldn't have an insight that a woman would have. So our what if scenario for this week is, what if women actually rule the world, like Miss Lauryn Hill said in her song. So I don't even know where to start with this one because, I mean, how do you think that would go down? I mean, because the only perspective I have is I remember. Do you remember the show Sliders?
I do.
Okay, yeah. There was an episode where they went to a planet where women were dominant and men were the non-dominant species. There was an episode. That's like the only place where I've seen them realistically go through that. And I can't even remember what happened in the episode, but I do remember they were on a world where that happened, and like the men had to fight for like equal rights, and all their stuff. And it was actually pretty interesting. So, I mean, of course, Jena's never one not to have any thoughts about anything. How do you feel it would go about if women were in charge of things instead of men?
Wow.
I know.
It's funny too because you picked. I am the least feminine. Like my expression is very feminine, but like in actuality, my gender is not.
Yeah, and it's not even about like feminine. It's about the sexes. Like you've seen effeminate men still be authoritative, kind of thing, you know.
Well,
so
first off, yeah. I don't really do the whole effeminization of men. I think that's just a trash ass fucking shitty excuse to demonize femininity and to limit men. It doesn't. Men deserve to be whoever the fuck they want to be, just as much as women do. And I just don't ride that wave because I feel like it doesn't help anybody. It's you know, guys, it's okay to cry. You're a fucking human being. Like that. The traits that we assign to solely females is actually a human trait. So you're basically saying men aren't allowed to be human, which is the reason why if women rule the world, it would actually be a better place because we are socialized to allow ourselves to be human. So our emotional intelligence is on par with our intellectual. I guess no, it's just saying it twice. Intellectual intelligence, our intellectual capacity. There you go. Right. I don't know. It's funny that this is your What If podcast because I was just researching matriarchal societies because I had just finished reading this book that I love so much called When God Was a Woman. Okay. It's a really great anthropological. Yep. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep. And sociological book that actually traces back to societies where they were matriarchal, and it really wasn't. Men were not the submissive or enslaved species. Like it was pretty normal. It's just that property got passed down through women, and women were able to be like political officials, and that was it. Like it wasn't a big like hoopla. You know, guys want to stay home, they didn't have to stay home, or they got to do whatever they want to do. And it's just that women were on par with their male counterparts. And you can see it now in like different countries where women are becoming, you know, presidents and, you know, political advisors, and they're taking on roles that traditionally were only given to men. And it's not, you know, the world is still going. It hasn't fallen off yet. So I think this podcast is actually more rooted in reality than a surreal, like, oh, Planet of the Apes.
Well, I'm not even saying like it would turn like Planet of the Apes or like, you know, kind of Twilight Zone type of thing. It's just one of those. It's just one of those where like you say that the world might be a better place, and you say that women, because they show their emotion, meaning or not showing emotion, but showing more, being more human. Would you say like what I would feel? Well, my opinion, anyways, not about like if women ruled or anything, but like just the human, the capacity of being human is that humans to a point, whether it be male or female, can be very selfish and petty. And I'm wondering if you run into the same problems, because honestly, I feel like after everything's said and done, and we can dissect and go into it, we might face different, like from a different perspective, but I still feel some of the same problems still might arise because of jealousy or greed or lust or just pettiness, that whether you're a man or a woman, you feel anyways, type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and it's funny you said that, because I just got off the phone with two really close friends of mine who are amazing women. One is a newly divorced mom with 2 kids. The other is single girl who's dating a guy who has kids, and both of the men are trash.
Damn.
And I'm not gonna name drop. I don't need to, like, whatever. But for one of my friends who's newly divorced, he was highly verbally abusive and toxic, and pretty much just your typical, I got hurt, so I'm gonna stay rooted in my ego and say a whole bunch of just irrational, hurtful things to project my pain onto you because I can't control you. And then for my other friend who, she's a single gal in her 20s, it took her leaving twice for him to realize just how much she contributed to maintaining and running the household, because prior to that, he was threatening to kick her out and saying she doesn't do anything, and just...
Were they married or they're just living together?
They're not married, but they were living together and they were in a relationship.
Okay, all right.
And for me, I was sitting there and I was just like, you know what? What I find so funny is that we're called petty, we're called irrational, we're called overly emotional. Mm-hmm. We get all these taglines, but hurt a nigga's feelings. Hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
And see how fragile.
He has one feeling, it's called ego. That's the one feeling.
No, it's like, dudes could not be women. You could not survive, socialize as a girl, let alone go through childbirth and periods.
Well, I feel it's this. It's because throughout, I wouldn't say history, but any society, most societies, anyways, men have been conditioned to be one way, and women have been conditioned to be another way, kind of thing. Men have conditioned that in order to exude dominance or favor, they can only exhibit 2 emotions: anger and happiness. That's it. Like, you can't feel sad, you can't feel upset, you can't feel perplexed, you can't feel anxious. No. They can only have 2 emotions, which is anger, happiness, and maybe, like, I don't know, pride. But women, on the other hand, even though they might be shunned saying, oh, she's hysterical, or oh, she's feeling that, whatever, it wouldn't be out of the norm for them to feel the entire array of emotions, which every human should feel, the entire array of emotions. So I think throughout history, throughout society, women have been, I don't want to say able to, I guess, yeah, they've been able to, or they've had the chance to show all these ranges of emotions, and that's been okay because they're women, type of thing, and also because they're showing those range of emotions, and because they are not dominant like males would be. It's for example, someone who's not the most attractive looking, but what do? They have a great personality, they're funny, and they have other traits that make up for them not being as attractive as other people. And I feel women have had to do that, in that they can't just be, a huge asshole because they're good at one thing and just be dominant, have everyone love them. They have to have other traits, like they have to understand dealing with these emotions. They have to understand how to get stuff, I wouldn't say manipulate, but how to best handle people in order to get what they need or get what they want, and things like that. They have to get other traits in order to survive. Meanwhile, with males, really just focus on one trait, whether it be hell or high water. And unfortunately, it's anger or dominance or strength or something like that. So I feel that women are better. Yeah, you're right. Women are better adapted to change. They're better equipped for change. Like, when things change, they're better to adapt. Like, all right, I got to do this and got to do this. It's like that one time where I was 3 years doing this and I got to do this. But whenever change happens to men, they're like, I like my way. This is my way. This is the only way I've been taught to do. And if I ever get out of this way, it's really, really hard. I mean, you're absolutely right with that. I mean, just just looking, and I find that's weird, because that is what I've seen, at least, and what a lot of people have seen, which makes you think, like, if through evolution,
Oh gosh.
through evolution, change, like, those who can adapt to change the best are the ones that move on. So if that's the case, and women, we've seen that women are really good at adapting, or most women are really good at adapting that change. Why hasn't the at least being on equal footing with men taken so long, if ever, even to get to this point?
Oh,
You see
come
what I'm
on. That's like asking, why are black people still murdered by police? Like, listen.
saying?
We already know why.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't turned the fuck up and literally just castrated all of you except for like maybe a good 100, okay, and enslaved the rest, because
remember, women outnumber men on this planet.
we do.
Yes.
We do outnumber, but that's such a, apart from my sarcasm, that's such a complex.
It is. No, that's why I put it out there. It's a very complex, thing to approach. No, yes, it's multifaceted. Yes, absolutely.
I would say it's the same reason why racism hasn't ended, because all these isms, whether it's sexism, homophobia, all these, they're interlocked, because there is still a group of folks in power who still have a shit ton of resources.
Is it the Illuminati?
No, it's your next door neighbor who voted for fucking Trump.
Yeah.
It's people still have enough power, enough resources to negatively impact and oppress massive amount of people. And until a movement comes along that can adapt over time, that can unite a whole bunch of people together without sacrificing individual identities or cultural identities, it can intersect. It can be used by poor women. It transcends class. It transcends race. Until we have a movement like that, and it's aggressive and it's not afraid to sit up here and fuck somebody up, it's not really going to change as quickly as it should, and it's not really going to change at all, because it's like, honestly, me personally, I'm glad I don't have no money, and I'm glad I don't have access to guns, because we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd have been shot up some niggas straight up. I don't care, because I am a firm believer that sacrifices need to be made for the greater good, and I'm pretty sure that me shooting a racist white Republican, I don't think anyone's really going to complain about that. And I will go down the list, and I will eliminate folks. I will sit up here. Man, you know how many fantasies I've had of actually figuring out ways to dismantle globally, basically, economic warfare.
I don't know how long you have, but yeah, okay. Yeah, economic.
I've had it for a long time. I sit up here, and I really was like, I would need like this many militias and this much money, and this is like a 30-year plan.
Yeah.
It's a 30-year plan that should last for the next 200 years.
And the
thing
is that what you're thinking right now, others have thought, but on the other side of the coin. In that, like let's be real, like the introduction of crack cocaine into the the black communities. That was a long-term, long-con type of plan, kind of thing, you know.
Yep. And that's how. But people don't think about the movements that we need in those type of ways. And then when they don't last, we're sitting here like, well, what happened? It's like, everybody's too afraid to sit up here and fuck somebody up. That's problem number one. I'm not with this whole peace shit. I'm not. I know, because on the other end is someone who is okay with murdering me to protect their assets. And for me, that's a problem. So I don't do this passive bullshit. And then not enough people are willing to really put in the work that needs to be done for the long haul, because it's going to be a long haul. And America was built on war, period. This current America was built on war and slavery.
Most nations were built on war, but yeah.
And that's unfortunately how it's going to have to end. And it's interesting. It's an interesting paradox because it's going to have to end that way, but it's going to have to begin differently. And in order for it to do that, we just need to X out toxic ass mentalities and cultural traditions that literally serve no one. And men will benefit from this. But if the propaganda of if women ran the world, then men would be submissive and enslaved. No, that's white racism. That's
it is no,
not
like,
what we're trying to
that
do
doesn't
here.
yeah.
That's why I fucking love to hate that movie White Man's Burden.
I've never
because
seen
it's trash. But I love to hate it because
it's called White Man's Burden. So I'm already sitting there going, ah.
oh yeah. And it's based off of a poem, and there's a whole bunch of information. Google it. I'm not your intellectual mammy, internet. But I hate the fact that like
she just said intellectual.
People really have this idea that black people ruled, then white people will be treated like black people, and then people fear that's what happens if gays are allowed to get married. It's like no. Not everybody's gonna treat each other the shitty ass way you treated us. Maybe we should.
But I will say that you have a point there. But I will say this: I feel, and I've always thought about this, and I always thought like it's really perplexing and actually angering towards me in that African Americans, especially in this country, have known years and generations of being oppressed and being second-class citizens solely because of the color of their skin. So I feel that's why I've always wondered like, why the fuck is the African American community so homophobic? Because I'm thinking like, you guys know what it feels like to be treated like shit just because of the way you feel or do something. Why would you do that to another group? Because Jena, you know how hugely homophobic the African American community is, and especially I would know as a Nigerian, they are hugely. It's a death sentence in Nigeria. And I always, and Nigeria's different because even though they were colonized by the British, is a nation ruled by black people, with a lot of black people in them. Here in the U.S., where you can be gay and in most parts of the place not be lynched, I've always wondered or just thought to myself like, you guys were oppressed for so long. Why are you oppressing? You know how this feels, so why are you doing it to someone else?
The same reason why these Latino motherfuckers are putting down white on a census bureau, because people understand that shit ain't gonna change in the next 80 years, so they rather assimilate in order to survive. And you know what? I'm not even really gonna hate you on that because you do what you gotta do, but don't expect me to respect you for it because I don't. To me, that's a sellout. When black men, specifically black men in America, sit up here and be like, I ain't gonna be for gay folks. There's a great, I wish I could remember the clip of who this person was. I think he's a rapper. There's a clip going around on the internet of a black male rapper basically calling out toxic ass black men on some gay and black women are on the front lines fighting for your rights. And you have the audacity to sit up here and be like, I ain't with that gay shit. Or
that sounds like something Drake would say.
Nah, this dude was a straight up, and the funny thing is, this dude was like straight up a trap. I think he's like a trap rapper. Like he's straight up hood. Yeah. And the way he was, the funniest thing too, because his whole delivery was like, y'all pussy. And I was like, the irony of you calling
saying,
out toxic shit, but you're calling them pussy.
But it's the same. It's the same. It's kind of the same way where like calling someone nigga with an A, it could be anyone of any race type of. It's just like a euphemism type of kind of thing. It's kind of sort of
I respected his message because it's real. It's like you have gay black folks and women on the front lines at these protests. Y'all ain't out there doing it. I don't see no straight up hood nigga out here doing what I see black women and black gay folks doing for black people. So it just kills me that they really have the audacity to sit up here and shoot a whole bunch of trans women because you got in your feelings because you can't handle the fact that your sexuality goes against whatever religion you decide to subscribe to. Like, that's not our problem. I don't know. I mean,
no, it's but you see what I'm saying. That it's not it's kind of, I guess, irony would it be that like marginalized groups of people are marginalizing other groups of people, not realizing like, dude, you're being marginalized. Why would you just You know?
Yeah, it's literally crabs in a bucket. Like
It is.
To me, it doesn't benefit anyone. And the sad thing about it too, when it comes to women who rule the world, which is why it's important to state what type of woman would rule the world, because we don't need any more white liberal women, but we don't need no black church going woman either, who's on some. When my man says no, it's a no, girl. Bye. Or also, she's not a real woman because she don't have a period. So
wait, what?
Women who are actually the whole trans.
I see. Yeah, okay. I was like, wait.
But there's plenty of.
That's a medical condition if you don't have. But I see what you're saying. That was the Dr. Ugo in my head thinking. I'm sorry.
Right, like there's plenty of, if you go by your limited understanding of science and human sexuality, even if chromosomally there's women born chromosomally and biologically female, that still don't mean they gonna have a period. There's so many fertility issues. Like, bitch, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't.
So I guess women over 50 aren't women. Like, bitch, get out of my face.
I don't know. I just like it's and that's again while one of the things of women rule the world. Like, would it be better? Because what we're arguing about right now is yes, there's male, female, the way they approach things, but honestly, it really comes down to people, whether you're a male or female, or whether you identify as a male or female or pan or inter, whatever. Just, if you're a dick, regardless of what you identify with, you're going to be a dick, and you're going to act like a dick to everybody else. And by dick, I mean a bad person. You know? Oh,
well, when I say dick, it usually means someone's going to fuck me over. But
yeah.
Ching.
Yeah.
This mic is getting a little hot. Because I'm on fire. I got that Drake fire.
No, gotcha.
I mean, if women rule the world, I think change would be easier to come by, because other women would rally behind women who are righteous, who are for, poor folk, LGBTQIA, all of them. It's like that one chick who would sit up here and do too much. She would be outvoiced by folks who really just genuinely care. So I think the change that we so desperately need wouldn't take as long, because at the end of the day, we're all about efficiency. We're all about maintaining it, keeping shit stress free. And bitch, if you want to sit up here and be on some dumb shit, then we're just going to leave you to your devices. Girl, bye, get off the bus. Like, you're done. But I don't think it would be that much better, because in America, at least, the socialization is so toxic that it would take someone who knows how to deal with the toxicity to teach others how to deal with it, and then like put them in a place of power. So it wouldn't be so we wouldn't carry on the legacies of what came before us. Because like I said, there's white women who don't mind being racist. There's black women who don't mind, keeping up that rhetoric of this is what a woman is, and extra transphobic, and just want men's balls in their mouths because they don't know how to define themselves outside of the validation men give them. Like, it would take a certain type of woman and women to truly run this country in the direction that it desperately needs.
And you could
the rest of the world
juxtapose that with saying it take a certain type of men to do the same thing.
Let's be real. There's more of us that are smarter than y'all. Like, and we'll actually work together and have mimosas and shit. With y'all,
I see you saying that, like, you'll work together and stuff like that, but I mean, pettiness is real, Jena. I mean, it's like how many two-faced women do you know and see all the time, like saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, girl, we're gonna do this," and the minute you're not in the room, they'll say something completely different or do something.
That's fine.
Different,
that's fine. But no, I'm the head bitch in charge, and I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, girl, you could be petty. You can be petty. Be petty all you want to. And at the end of the day, when I'm sitting up here and putting you on the gallows, don't act brand new. Because, bitch, I'm in charge. Like, that's it. And anybody who would have come for me, try it. And I'll kill you whether you're a dude or a girl. I don't give a fuck. And that's the type of person that's going to have to be in charge, because it's still a power dynamic that plays. So there's still going to have to be an alpha regardless in the beginning. in the beginning, because eventually we're gonna have to let go of that power dynamic because it doesn't serve us at all. We're not fucking wolves. We're humans. But the pettiness, I feel like the pettiness would be no more pettier than what Trump is doing.
Oh yeah.
No more pettier than what we've already experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like I said, there's more women who are willing to get shit done that it would eventually cancel out the pettiness. Mm-hmm. And there's not enough men like that. There's not enough men like that. Period.
I mean, you what you're saying, like, what you're saying is you're right. There are not enough men like that. I could also caveat with there's not enough men like that who are willing to step up and do it, because what you're saying right now, just to come together and be collective, at least in this society, American society, is considered weakness. I know you've taken the communication class 101 with individualism versus collectivism, and how Western cultures are more individualistic and other cultures like Asian African cultures are more like collectivistic kind of thing.
Yep.
And it's one of those, there are men out there who are more collective, like, let's come all together, put all this pettiness stuff to side, but that is not seen as a leading which is unfortunate. It is not seen as a leading trait. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. But Drumline told you, Orlando Jones told y'all niggas, you must learn to follow before you lead.
This isn't Atlanta A&T, all right? We ain't. I don't see.
He
Nick
told him though, because he was over there rat-a-tat-tatting on the drum, trying to show out, and then Orlando Jones was like, "Hold on, bruh. Let me do this."
We taking lessons from Nick? Is Nick Cannon? Do you want Nick Cannon to be a role model? Do you want Nick Cannon to be a role model?
Well, shit. I mean, let's look at Nick Cannon's career now. Let's not.
Yeah, let us look at Nick Cannon's career, please.
No, for real. Look at where he came from to where he is now. He's a multi-billionaire who started literally Nickelodeon, right? Was he a Nickelodeon kid?
He was on Nickelodeon, but he didn't start Nickelodeon. But yeah, he was a Nickelodeon.
I mean, I don't know. He had sex with Mariah Carey, got 2 kids. They got to pay her hella alimony.
Why does he have to pay her? Does he make more? I thought she would make more. No? Yes?
She does make more.
Yeah, so...
He's not trashing her name. He's being very classy about it.
He's trying to save Radio Shack. It's not really working, but yeah.
Yep, and then he had his own little comedy show that picked up.
But he did Underclassmen.
You don't see a lot of...
Remember Underclassmen? You don't remember that dude? Exactly.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
But no, I see what you're saying. No, Nick Cannon's doing well for himself. We all wish we could have the path of Nick Cannon. I get it. He just you know how, again, it's another crab in the bucket mentality. We just are like, man, but he's such a corny motherfucker. That's just as hating. You say something like that.
He is pretty corny. I'll give you that. Like, I could never really see him as some hood dude until he turned up, and I'd be like, oh shit.
Oh,
he beat her ass. Oh, damn. All right, Nick Cannon.
Did you ever see Chirac?
I have not seen
Do you have Amazon Prime? No, but
I have Cody. Shout out to Cody.
There you go. Look up Chirac. Look at Nick Cannon and Chirac, and then you might be like, all right, Nick Cannon, all right. Because him and Wesley Snipes are like the Crips and the Bloods, and they're like gang leaders, and they do some, and actually that's actually, Chirac would be a great addendum to this podcast, because honestly, Chirac's about, it's a Shakespearean play, but one where women basically hold sex away from the men in order for them to stop fighting.
Oh yeah, it's based on, I actually did that play.
Yeah, I forgot the Shakespearean play, whatever, but yeah, it was actually Spike Lee actually doing something good. It was great.
Yeah, I believe it's Lysistrata was the
that's what
yeah. Lysistrata and Midsummer's Night Dream were always my personal favorites. Romeo and Juliet to me was just a little bit too much.
Okay, I have a question. Like, this is just, I'm sorry, straight off topic. Do you remember seeing a commercial? It was like a Jared or Kay's commercial where these kids were doing Romeo and Juliet. Do you remember that commercial?
I'm looking at the judge because I don't want to lie under oath, but I'm gonna say no.
Okay,
I'm gonna say
it was like this 8-9-year-old girl and boy doing like Romeo and Juliet like on stage, and like their parents were proud and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, do these kids know how this play ends? And a second I'm thinking like, I know Romeo and Juliet were young. They were like 15 and 14, but that's not something we want to teach 8-9-year-olds to emulate, because, you know, they killed each other because they thought they loved each other, which clearly, I believe, if Romeo and Juliet survived the end, they would have broken up like 6 months later.
No. No. Whatever. If women ruled the world, they wouldn't have broken up. How about that?
You know what? I will say, probably if women did rule the world, which would mean they would be more the lead in relationships, meaning they'd be the ones to choose relationships. They'd probably make better choices with who their mates would be. And I think breaking up would be a lot less common than it would be now. Because a lot of guys get with girls like, all right, I'm going to bed her, sleep with her, and then go my own separate ways. But women would be like, no, I'm looking for the long haul. I don't want to just be with this guy for... no, not all, but I would say more women would be more picky with their partners than guys would be.
I wouldn't... The funniest thing is that recently, scientifically, that has been proven incorrect. Mm-hmm. And women are only pickier around ovulation. After that, we don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't think breakups would be less frequent. I think breakups wouldn't be that big of a deal because, yet again, the power dynamics would have shifted. So we wouldn't be making less. Like all these things that stress us out would not stress us out. Mm-hmm. And then men would be able to expand their identities more. So people will feel a lot more comfortable being themselves because we have cultivated a different type of society. Because in order for us to thrive, clearly we can't keep the same shit going. Mm. So I feel like dating wise, if anything, and I'm going to be real petty, relationships will actually be a lot more convoluted. Like it'll be one moment.
I don't disagree with you on that. They probably, and honestly, I feel like with what you're saying right now, if women were like the ones taking control of relationships, I feel that, like men being gay, there'd be a higher percentage of them that would be okay being out and gay.
Yes.
I feel I really do, because they'd be like, all right, I'm not getting it from her. We're not the alpha in this society, whatever. This other guy I feel connected with, and they'd be okay. Because you know how like guys are like, oh yeah, 2 girls kissing the top and 2 guys kissing. That's good. I feel in a female society they'd be like 2 people of the same sex kissing. Okay, you know. Yeah,
it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like,
yeah,
who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. Relationships probably would be somewhat convoluted. Yeah,
it would be because I'll speak for all women on this. We know what we want. But it's completely opposite than what we're getting. Yeah. We actually don't really want labels and long terms. We just want niggas who ain't gonna lie and a whole bunch of sex. So, you know.
You say that, but where are these females? Because I mean, a lot of them just want to get married, and I'm just like,
that's what I'm saying. In a society run by women, we wouldn't need the validation.
I thought you were talking about now. Like, I don't know, where are these women?
Well, listen,
they're there. They're out there, but man.
Yeah, we can't be loud and proud about it because you got people calling, the mother of their children whores. Like, and this, we're not allowed to be comfortable sexually. And there was a great, God damn it, Twitter is on fire. There was a great tweet that someone brought up that basically was just like, a woman can be sexually liberated and have standards. And I was like, pretty much, because people still think a woman's sexual liberation is rooted in like a male's validation of her and how many dicks she had in her. Like, me being sexually liberated has nothing to do with how many dicks I've had in me. Like, chill. Your dick, like, how is your dick gonna devalue me if I had too many of them, but in the same breath give me value because I had it in me? Like, that's not how it works.
It's not, but it's one of those primordial kind of things where quote unquote marking of territory. It's one of those things. It is one of those. Yeah, because if so many people mark this territory, it's seen as less valuable. Hence the whole she's a whore, blah blah blah, which is stupid.
God forbid
Which is
that we,
asinine to me.
God forbid we be viewed as people, not as
I know,
objects.
right?
Like,
it's crazy. What are you
what
talking
a
about?
concept.
What are you talking about, Jenny? You crazy. You crazy, girl.
If I ruled the world, weed would be legal, prison would be dismantled, rapists would be hugged, children would be free. And any fucking racist ass white Becky, if you want to keep up that mentality, I will shoot you out into space with the rest of the KKK members.
That was a great place to end it, man. Gee, I'm so glad I got you on here, Gee. I am woke now. I am straight up woke. And I don't mean because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but I mean, I am woke consciously and socially. Please, you have so much to say, and tell everyone. Please tell everyone where we can find you on all types of social media and in the world.
Oh, well, you can find me on the Instagrams. Damn Jena, DAMNJENA. Thank you for sticking with me and my stuffy nose. I appreciate all of you. My Twitter is a little complicated, so just look up Jena. Type in JENA.
Man, you better spell that Twitter.
Yo, eclectic organic.
I said spell.
Okay, ECLECTICORGANIC. If you can't spell eclectic organic, you don't need to follow me. Like, it's not that serious. Eclectic organic. Eclectic.
They try to educate themselves. Come on, you gotta give them a little boost.
Eclectic organic. It's not that hard, bro. It's really not.
So you got Instagram, Twitter. What else you got?
I have a Snapchat, Lotus Locust. That's my Snapchat. And Facebook, Jena Perry. That's it. That's all I got.
Aren't you on, like, I see you sometimes on Snapchat, like you on a mic or something like that. You do other podcasts or other things like that, or you just
I do a few podcasts. I'll be posting it up. My SoundCloud is not quite finished yet.
Oh, you dropping an album? You gonna drop that? When's that album dropping, Jena? When's that album dropping?
That album is not dropping anytime soon. But I mean, if you honestly like me that much, you are more than welcome to go through the Double Toasted archives. You are more than welcome to go through those Double Toasted archives and find my little black self.
Yeah.
Well, my SoundCloud is Luna Del Sol, if you guys are interested in finding me.
Sweet. And of all of you who are still around for I think this is my 14th episode. If you guys are still around, you guys know how to get at me. I am on YouTube. Just look up the What If Podcast on YouTube. It'll pop up. You'll see a bald black dude with a beard as a cartoon. You follow that. You click, you subscribe, you write messages, and tell me all kinds of good stuff. I'm also on SoundCloud. Go to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/thewhatifcast, or go to SoundCloud and search The What If Cast. If you want to give me any what if scenarios, if you want to give me any comments, concerns, if you want to call me a hoe ass nigga, or if you want to, say how great Jena is and tell her to come back, just go to thewhatifcast@gmail.com. Or if you're too busy for that shit and you got to be on Twitter and you can only do it in 160 characters, you can tweet me at @the_whatifcast. Or if you're more laid back and you just want to go to Facebook and like my page and leave a message and leave some comments, I'm on Facebook. Just search for What If Podcast. It was a pleasure and an honor having you, Miss Jena.
Thank you.
So glad.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you came on. And I know this was a great conversation. I loved it. I really did.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I mean, I know I apart from being, a radical, I love video games and television shows. We should do like a Twin Peaks review.
Maybe, give me some ideas. You should look at one of my other shows I did with Gertz, and we talked about what if one of our scenarios was what if the video game movies became successful like Marvel. Like, what video game movie would it be? What franchise would it be? When would it start? Type of thing. So it was actually.
I would have loved that. We got to do a part 2 with that one.
Okay, yeah, we might come back to that one. We might come back to that one with you. So thank you so much for having me, and I want to thank everyone for listening. And until then, I will see you guys later. Please say goodbye to the internet people, Miss Jena.
Goodbye, internet world. Stay awesome.
I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
If I rule the